All right, hey y'all. So today I wanted to take some time out to talk about the four perks. Okay. All right. I had to go check on this ravioli lasagna that I'm making, but I didn't get enough dream because my body wanted some fruit. So I'm back here. Okay. What I was trying to say before, I want to talk to y'all about four perks of owning a spearmint plant. All right. So first things first, low maintenance. Let me scooch over here. All right, Minty here, my spearmint plant. She is very much low maintenance. I've had Minty since November of 2023. We are currently in September of 2024, and she, mind you, this is the longest plant I've ever had. I've never had a plant last this long before in my life, ever. So that in itself says a lot. When it comes to watering, she doesn't need to be watered every day. Honestly, I water her about maybe every week and a half, 2 weeks. With her, she kind of retains water pretty well. And I've had her in a variety of different plants. Right now, currently, she is in a ceramic pot. Let y'all take a look at this. But I've had her in a plastic pot before, and I've also had her in glazed ceramic, I believe, as well. And she does well in any pot. I haven't had no problems. There have been little, times where maybe she's gone a little bit dry or a little bit overwatered, but it's pretty easy to fix the problems with her. It really doesn't take much. So yeah, definitely very much low maintenance. When it comes to sun, she does well with, full sun, indirect sun. I've had her in the shade. I kind of just alternate with her. She spends most of her time outside nowadays. The Georgia weather has been a little on and off. So today we're literally hitting 90 degrees. So I'm probably going to have her inside for most of the day. Because as you can see here, she has little limitation as to what degree weather. She's supposed to be kept in typical temperatures of 55 to 75 degrees, and I try to stay within that. But even being outside of that slightly hasn't, she's able to withstand it pretty well. Which surprisingly enough, I've heard that this plant is a challenging plant to grow. But in my experience, I would consider myself still pretty much beginner. Even though I've been trying with plants since 2021. Or 2022, maybe 2022, I think 2022. So it's been about 2 years of my plant journey, and I've killed so many plants. I've killed plants that are supposed to be considered low maintenance, and she's an herb, and herbs aren't usually the most low maintenance kind of plants to take care of. So that says a lot. That says a lot. If I'm able to keep her alive this long and thriving, then that means she's a toughie. Okay. All right. Perk number 2, I'm currently detangling her just so you can see how long I'm talking, because sometimes it's a little hard to see how long they can get when you got them all tangled up on this pole like I have. Well, this is a stick. I have a stick. It's a chopstick. Well, it's not really a chopstick. It came with a plant, another plant. But I'm detangling just so you can see to the extent of her growth. But yeah, rapid growth is definitely one of the great perks. I will say though that if you're a person who doesn't really consume spearmint often, then I would maybe, get something else, just because for example, I don't eat spearmint very often. I don't. So either another thing to notate with spearmint, you're not supposed to eat large quantities or consume large quantities of spearmint because they can be toxic to humans in large quantities. What is that exact measurement? I don't really know entirely. I would say look it up, see if there's an exact measurement somewhere online. I would say don't drink spearmint tea all day every day. Maybe, give yourself a break in between. So you're not supposed to be consuming large quantities. Mind you, I do want to say, when I first got Minty, I got her at fucking Walmart, okay? I saw the plant at Walmart, and I was like, fuck it, let's get it. And in my mind, I thought she was a peppermint. I thought she was a peppermint plant, not a spearmint. There is a difference. Peppermint and spearmint in the same family, very similar, but they are different. So lo and behold, when I realized she was a spearmint, I was like, oh, never mind. I guess this is not peppermint. And although a little disappointed, I have harvested her. Here and there. I've used her for spring rolls that I make every now and then, not very often, and that's about it. So that's for me why that's kind of an issue. I want to try to have, if I'm going to have an edible plant, I want it to be something that I am consuming on a regular basis. But for people who do like to maybe use spearmint for other things, maybe someone who makes essential oils, or I don't even know, whatever it may be. Oh, I think I just broke a piece off of her stem. Did I do that? I just broke this piece off. Whoopsies. But yeah, just for reference, let me go ahead and show you how long. This side's a little short, but yeah, this is how long we're talking. Let me try to, I can make a whole headband out of her. Wee. But yeah, spearmints grow very motherfucking fast. One thing I will say I might recommend when it comes to pots, go long, not wide, because as you can see, or let me lift it up so you can see, she's not really covering a lot of surface area width-wise. It's a lot to do with length. So I will be getting a long pot, so I can have her take a look like it's dangling over, but a wide pot is honestly unnecessary. I know I'm going on a tangent. All right, yes. So reason number 3, adaptability. I've currently had Minty now in 2 different states, both in the South, but different areas in the South with it's slightly a little colder over in the area I'm in now than was in the last area, but not by a crazy amount. But I will say each area that I have been in, they go through all 4 of the seasons: summer, spring, winter, fall, and Minty has experienced all of them, I think. Let me see. Winter, yeah, check. Spring, check. Summer, check. And I guess we're getting into fall now, huh? Yeah, we in fall now. Well, I guess November. Is November still fall? I feel like November is still fall. So she has been in fall. Because winter starts in December. I guess it depends. I feel like she's gone through all 4 seasons. We've seen the leaves change, okay? So, and she's held up so great. I will say in the last state that I was in, she wasn't outside much. She was indoor all the time, actually. Over here where I'm at now, I do alternate between indoor and outdoor. And regardless, though, she does well in so many different, I mean, I guess this goes hand in hand with being low maintenance, you know, and being adaptable, because it's like, I can go a little minute, you know, I can forget to water her, or she might not get as much sun sometimes, and she still be like good to go. Like, she's the one plant that's always like looking like she's just booming, you know what I'm saying? It's always some new growth with this one. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen her like never not growing. Maybe like once where I was lacking on her care, but with her, you really don't got to do much. Just give her some regular, I think she uses her soil is like some standard like regular indoor, you know, plant soil, maybe herb soil, you know, whatever, about the same thing. You don't have to do much. You don't have to do much. Honestly, this is a plant that, as we can see, almost looks like a vine. It almost looks like a vine. Like, I feel like if I wanted to grow her as a vine, that might actually work. That would probably work, actually. But I live in an apartment, you know what I'm saying? Like, where we gonna put this tab? Where we gonna put this? There's no point in doing that. But yeah, she's adaptable, y'all. All right, reason number 4 is that she bounces back easily, right? And I know that just because there has been periods of times where I've, you know, maybe not done the best at caring for her. Sometimes I forget things, or sometimes I don't give her as much attention as I need to. And there's been times where she's like, you know, not looking so hot. You know, I've seen some of her stems dried up. Like, she currently only has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stems, right? She used to have a lot more, and that's just because I started lacking for a little minute. As you can see, you only see growth kind of coming out on one side. She used to have it all over the goddamn pot, and that's on me, right? And I'll also go into some other things about her then. But honestly, it doesn't take much. You know, if it's a lack of sunlight, put her in the sun for a little bit. Boom, next day you'll probably start seeing some changes, or give it a few days, you'll see some changes. If, you know, she's dehydrated, just water her once, you know, water her real good, put her outside, you'll see her, you know what I'm saying, all popped up again in no time. So yeah, those are the 4 reasons or 4 perks of owning a spearmint plant. So one more thing I wanted to touch on before I end this video, which is not a perk per se, but if you have noticed, let me give y'all up close look at the leaves. If you see here, her leaves are fairly small, right? So now I want to tell y'all kind of like the issue I am having currently, right? The leaves are small, and if you also notice, they are growing far apart from each other. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is a problem. Now, I haven't quite pinpointed it yet, but she's not supposed to grow entirely like that. In fact, I'm probably going to pop in a picture like right here of when I first got her, so you can see what the leaf growth is actually supposed to be looking like, right? Because the leaves, again, are supposed to be a lot closer to each other and a lot bigger. And I've noticed over time they've gotten smaller and smaller, like when they're at full growth, right? Like, for example, this is a full-grown leaf. It's very small. It's very small. It's the size of my thumbnail, which is not very big. And the problem, it's not really, you know, it means it takes a lot. If you want to use it for something, you got to clip off all the leaves, right? Now, do I know what the exact issue is? I was doing a little research yesterday, right? Because I'm not an expert. So you guys are learning at the same time that I'm learning. We're learning together, okay? And one of the possibilities, there's 4 different, you know, reasons I saw mainly, but the reason I think it might be is that there's too much salt in the soil. Now, I'm not entirely sure. It says, you know, you would probably see a lot of like white salt-like things in the pie in the soil. I feel like, I see a lot of white things, but I'm like, shit, I can't remember if that's just how the soil was already, or if this started to fill up over time just because I've had it for so long. So, what is the solution for this? If it is that there is too much salt in her soil, that would be causing her to dry out, but in a way where it's like she still wants to grow, so she's still going to keep growing, right? But she's just not going to grow as well as she should be growing, right? So the solution I am probably going to try now is to go ahead and change out her soil completely. Yes, when I get her new pot, I'm going to go ahead and get her a whole new bag of soil, get rid of this soil, right? Because, and then get rid of this soil, wash her roots off. And you know, we repotted her and put her in new soil about back in, I want to say a couple months ago, maybe like 3 months ago, not entirely sure. But if this really is the issue, then you got to do what you got to do, right? Because I know she's not being overwatered, right? Also, something I want to say when it comes to watering her, I do use a moisture meter for all my plants to make sure I don't overwater or underwater them, right? So that's nipped in the bud. I know that's not a lack of sunlight, because she definitely gets enough sunlight out here, especially, you know, when summer hit. And I think I forgot what the other reason was. Oh, being root bound. Now I know Minty's not root bound. Why? Because I just repotted her a few months ago, and you know, I made sure to untangle her roots and get them nice and fluffed up and comfortable in this new pot of soil. So that's how I know it's not root bound. Alright, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If not, oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I just want to share that with y'all real quick. Y'all go ahead and check out some other videos I got on my page about plantsies.